client of mine recently asked me, how do I get my clients results and how do I make sure that they actually get what they pay for? Because if you don't have client results and if you don't have a way of ensuring that every single person who works with you actually gets the result that they pay for, then there is no way to guarantee a good result and your client results will absolutely suffer. And as you can see, boy, do I love my client results because I make sure that my clients are able to actually collect cash and win. Because if they're not able to, as you can see, 10K cash, 1.2K cash, 600, 2.4, as you can see, there is quite a few people. And there's nothing more that I love than making sure that my clients win. Because if I know that I can make my clients win, then the value that I can provide to others will be proportionally to how much I actually earn myself. So you yourself have to prioritize client results because you will be paid accordingly to the amount of value that you provide these people and that you provide to society. This is the exact way that I map out my client journey. And this is an example that I actually give to my clients so that they know exactly how to deliver and how to actually get results to their clients and systemize it so that they don't have to worry about whether or not their clients are getting good results. So if we begin here, this is literally the exact step by step process of what I give my clients as an example of how to create their own client journey. So, this is called a client journey document. And the way that we set it up is that we first have a good offer and we've passed obviously the sales process and someone has already paid you. So, you lost all of your leverage now. The moment that they pay you, you have to do everything that you can to deliver a result for these people. So, we use a client journey to systemize these exact steps that we have to do to make sure that our clients get results. And so that we're not just guessing on what the next step is, what we're doing in the first month, the first week, or the next month, and the following months after that. So there's an example client journey, and how it is set up is that we first have an offer, and then once we close that person, they now enter this client journey. It depends on how long your client journey is. If it's 2 months, if it's 4 months or 6 months, I recommend a maximum of 6 months to get your clients a result. Now, ideally, you want to get them a result in the first week. Potentially in your niche, it might be very different. If you're an agency, you're a coach, a consultant, or a course seller, or whatever you are, adjust your client journey accordingly to what your needs are. So, when it comes to deciding your timeline, how long to work with your client for, you must first average the time that people take to get the significant result that you promise them. So, for example, if to scale someone to 20K a month, then it might take someone 4 to 6 months to get that result. 4 months if they really work really hard and you're a good consultant, you're able to tell them the exact steps that they need and they actually execute on every step. 6 months if they're a bit lazy and your consulting skills aren't that great, then you want to have a bit extra time to ensure that you get the result, or your goal is even higher than obviously 20K or whatever your results are, then you want to map it out week by week, month by month. So this is how we do it for week by week basis for a 4 month program. So we begin with the week one, laying foundations and launching quick cash campaigns. So we book a strategy call and onboard into Slack. Now, a little trick that you can actually do, which I haven't included in this example, is that you can actually input the hyperlinks, for example, a Calendly link here to book a strategy call for your clients. So, for example, if you have an onboarding link that you want to send very quickly and you're on call with a client, you can quickly go to this client journey and send them the relevant links to onboard them quickly because onboarding someone quickly and efficiently and giving them a smooth onboarding process is monumentally important to making sure that their first interactions within the inside of your business and the back end are solid. So they watch your onboarding video, they break down the next few months and what they can expect. You have to set client expectations because if you set them too low or too high, it's better if you set them low. Especially if you set them too high, their level of satisfaction is going to plummet. For example, if a kid is expecting, right, they come home from school and their parents have told them that the next day they come home from school, they're going to get this Disney trip. And now the next day comes and the parents realize that the Disneyland is closed, then how distraught would that child be? However, if you never even told the child about the surprise trip to Disneyland, then they'll never even know about it and their levels of expectations would be neutral. They wouldn't be distraught. So, finally, the same thing applies here. You don't want to set expectations which are too high. And if you are setting expectations, which you should, set them low and set them to be very achievable for all your clients on average. Okay. Add them to a client dashboard, create a client workspace where you do it on Discord, Notion, on Slack, wherever that is on Google Drive as well. For this particular instance, this example is for a content agency. So we draft clients' DM sequence, beautiful. We tell the client to gather inspo from competitors and other people's content. So we're doing market research and understanding other people's content, exactly how they're doing to gather inspiration and to know exactly what the best pain points are, what the best formats are for our clients. Then we take the one-on-one game plan call to figure out their niche, dial in their offer, and make sure that they have full confidence on their next few steps with that one-on-one game plan call. And then we launch quick cash campaigns. Like I said, I love client results. And the reason why we're able to get these type of results is because we maximize the speed at which we execute. And everybody knows this. Everybody has been told this, that when you execute something, do it quickly and do it now. Because if you wait, then you're simply procrastinating the results and the outcomes that you've been wanting for a long time. And so we get quick cash campaigns to immediately get some cash in the door and to make our clients feel like they're getting some of their investment back as soon as we can. And we try to do this within a week. Now, this isn't going to be the same for everyone else. I'm not saying that every single one of my clients get a result within the first week, although it's very quick. It depends on the client's results themselves, their testimonials, their work ethic, their followers. So it all varies. However, we want to launch these quick cash campaigns so that we can efficiently get clients in for the right situations, for the right clients. Week 2 to 3, creating the first content and getting the first wins. We do research on the client's niche and use Sort Reels to come up with performing ideas. So this is in more depth for market research. Then we structure these ideas out into guiding scripts to your clients to record. We draft up 2 ads. We take the script call. So obviously we hop on the call. We make sure that they know exactly what to say and then they're happy with the script and it actually reflects how they speak. We get the footage back to them. So obviously they film it and they give it back to us. And then in the meantime, we work on ideas and we create a huge list for them for their client or for our client. And then we get the editor to edit it, to outsource. And, having an editor is probably one of the easiest low leverage tasks that you can instantly offboard and delegate once you get some cash flowing. And you don't even need that much. If you do the right research, you talk to the right people, you can get editors between 8 to maximum 30 USD per video, especially if it's highly edited and overly edited like Devin Jathers, for example, then, but you really don't need that type of video. Next is, depending on how experienced your client is, you might need to make some revisions, especially if it's a very complex video and there are a lot of mistakes in there, potentially that your client might have to change. But obviously, as you progress and as you further understand how your clients like their work to be done, then you'll be able to structure it much better. Okay, you finish the first batch, and simultaneously, you should have given all your clients new ideas to film with because you want to constantly provide them with more value. Now, ideally, you already started to get some calls and booked through the quick cash campaigns within the first week or 2 to 3 weeks. But if not, that's okay. The next thing is to ensure these results, we launch ads. Okay, and ads might take a bit longer because they're more complex to film and the market research must be more extensive. So we want to launch ads within week 3 or week 4. And how we do that, same process. We give them the idea, we get the footage, we edit, approve, and upload. The hardest part about launching ads is not the actual setup of the ad. It is simply making the best creative possible, which reflects exactly what your prospects' pain points are. That's the hardest part. And then while the ads run, obviously bring in as many leads as you possibly can. You want to put more focus on the setting. So actually getting these leads and getting the bottom of funnel conversion. So with week 5, we set that baseline. Your clients should definitely be booking and taking some calls by now. If you haven't gotten your clients' results at this point, then you know you're doing something wrong. And you want to go back into week 1 to 4 and dial in whichever one you're lacking in. Probably content and definitely setting. And make sure you track and have an exemplary tracking sheet to track daily leads, cost per lead, cost per call, cost per acquisition, and a lead to call booking rate so that you can optimize and know exactly where the bottlenecks are in your business and know exactly what to change so that you can make more money. Pretty simple. Week 6, analyzing and improving baseline. Now, you should have 2 to 3 weeks worth of data so you know exactly where to improve, but it simply isn't enough. It is a small indication of possibly where you're going wrong. But generally, you want to have months and months of data to really make a strong analyzation. And week 6 might have to be repeated for a lot of our clients as well, especially the majority of CPL, cost per lead, is above $10 or lead quality is bad. You have to improve the ad. If cost per click or cost per acquisition is above X amount, or the call booking rate is below 3%, depending on obviously your niche, then you have to improve appointment setting. So we know exactly where the constraints are in our business, we set the exact KPIs that we have to hit. If we don't hit them, then we have to adjust and make sure that we are hitting them. And as you can see, we analyze and we improve from our baseline. Next thing is week 7 and week 8. The VSL and asset. If you are creating a website or landing page, create a VSL, create an asset that you're able to send to people, for example, Loom videos that you're able to send, and use that as a lead magnet to attract your ideal customer. Now, obviously, depending on your niche, what I recommend is personally using VSL in the form of a YouTube video, which is a absolutely amazing way to not only organically increase trust because it's a YouTube video that you're just speaking to someone to, but at the same time, you're increasing views on your YouTube channel, which is great. And at the same time, people are able to go over onto your YouTube channel and watch more of your content. And it's essentially serving as middle of funnel content as well for you to nurture your prospects, which is great. Other beautiful things are pre-call training, client interviews, which they can see as well, and newsletters. Now, in terms of week 9 to 16, so this is a 4-month client journey and this is what the example is reflecting. This is the start of the scaling phase. So mind you, if you haven't done these correctly within the 8-week time frame, and again, this is simply the ideal time frame that most clients should be following, obviously with a little bit of buffer time of a week in between each course of action, then once we reach the scaling phase, you can either repeat any of these weeks, and mind you, it's not something that people have to concretely follow from week 1 to 16. You can repeat some weeks if you have to. If you're not able to dial in, let's say, for example, the ads take you a long time to launch, to film, to edit, you have issues with your ad account. That's understandable. Take some more time if you need to, obviously, do it as quickly as you can. But if you have to repeat a section, do that. Now, if you're onto the final part, which is the scaling, going on to the 3rd month, you should have all your KPI tracking, beautiful, to know exactly where the improvements should lay. Your clients would have a positive ROAS from their ads, which is amazing. And if they don't, again, go back to the ads week and adjust exactly what you have to know exactly what to change for your ads. And then in preparation for the scaling phase, make sure that you have all the assets from the last 2 weeks finished and put in place, the VSL, the lead magnets, the newsletters, all that beautiful stuff. Make sure that it is in place before you move on to the scaling phase. So the goal is to scale ad spend, telling your clients and setting expectations on what the next couple of months will look like once we scale ad spend, and to make sure that if they want to scale quickly, they have to reinvest into ads again to make sure that their ads are reaching the highest quality prospects and the highest quality leads for them. And at this point, you want to have another game plan call with your client to map out the next 9 to 16 weeks. And I've left that for you guys to decide on what you want to do for your clients and your client results. And that's it for this video. I hope you found some value. And I hope this has made sense in terms of actually providing a systemized way to get results for not only yourself and your own business, but also for your clients, and to make sure that they are always happy with their results and that they can always deliver on their promises as well by making a client journey. Ciao, ciao.